for fan bases, and the Canadian fan bases are very consistent on this. The only inconsistencies have been some of the Jets fans, because I found some pretty cool Jets fans. But pretty consistently, if you're a Canadian fan, general rule, you think Arizona fans don't know anything about hockey. All right.
Yep.
So imagine the irony of saying something as ignorant as Jacob Chychrun is an offensive defenseman. First off, he's not. He's a two-way defenseman. He is also one of the best defensive players on this team.
Yep.
He has literally been that good. All the advanced metrics are also lined up. I don't understand those little charts that Jay Fresh puts out, but I sure can see when the numbers go up.
When the stonks go up, I'm winning.
The stonks go up, and I can read color codes. That's about it. But
I like it when it's blue. I like the blue color, the dark blue color.
Blue's looking pretty good. Sonk is blue. Anyway, so 13 points in 16 games. I don't know how you can claim to know hockey and you're going to say something as ignorant as you're not even a good offensive defenseman when you're almost a point per game. I would get it, even to an extent if it's 20 games and you have between 10 and 12 points. I could almost see that if you're comparing that to the value that the trade is going to demand. But he has been literally everything as advertised this year. And I really want that trade to get done so there's no, anxiety or opportunity for, let's say, damaged goods to become more damaged. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, here's the even more crazy part. So this is the other thing that people don't realize, where those points came from. That's not 13 points of just ragging it on the power play and getting some free points. He has 13 points, and only 2 of which have been on the power play. The 11 points in 16 games has been 5-on-5 hockey. That's hard to do as a defenseman. That's really hard to do as a defenseman, and he's doing it. And on top of that, he's been respectable in his defensive zone, and you can just do the eye test. You don't even have to look at the fancy charts. You can just do the eye test. He's been shutting people down. And that's because he's a two-way defenseman. Like Matt's saying, he's not an offensive defenseman. He's not going to be an Erik Karlsson. He's a dominant two-way defenseman. And that's exactly how he's playing.
And if I've ever said he's an offensive defenseman, then clearly I was not using the appropriate terminology. Because, yes, obviously with the numbers being as it is, you can just use him as an offensive defenseman. You can do that. But if you also need a defensive defenseman, Chychrun can also fill in every single aspect that you need and then just give you your little depth scoring, if that's all you need him for.
Yep.
So it's like, I don't understand it. I had to bring that up because I thought it was funny, just straight up, because how, again, can you claim to know hockey? How can you rag on a fan base for not knowing anything, yet you claim Jacob Chychrun is an offensive defenseman that isn't even good at that? And even if they were all power plays, you're telling me that wouldn't mean that he is one of the driving factors of this power play being as good as it is on a team that everyone outside of this town said was going to be the last place finishing team in the league. I said it from the start, they weren't. I said it from the start, the roster is not that bad.
Yep.
It's going to get pretty bad whenever they trade everyone away, and there's no avoiding that. But they've exceeded every one of my expectations as well.
Yep.
Just straight up.